Yeah, I think I could go for it again, though, for sure. I might make it the second time.
A motorcycle is whatever you want to make it. Turn it on, you can give yourself a real thrill.
I'm out here riding in Moab, Utah. This trail is called the Kane Creek Trail. It's a 4x4 trail. We wanted to kind of relax today and take it easy, so anything with 4 wheels, if they can make it, then usually it's pretty easy.
If it's your first time in Moab, I don't recommend this trail really, because if you go to Moab, in my opinion, you're going there for like the Red Rock. So this trail is fairly easy. It's 4x4 trail, and it's mainly in a sand wash. And then even when you climb out of the sand wash, it's a lot of very deep powder, which does not provide good traction. And a lot of the powdery stuff transitions into rock faces and stuff like that. But as you can see, this is not part of the trail. Actually, this is going up. This is called Hamburger Hill. And I just kind of edited in a blip of that because we actually ended up turning around and taking Kane Creek Trail through the canyon. Kane Creek Trail actually turns into a single track as well. So this is kind of what you're seeing right now is a lot of the single track section of it. I was wearing a very heavy backpack on this trip. Any little change in body position and the backpack would throw my balance off, so it really hindered my ability. It hinders your ability a lot more than you would think. A lot of great scenery, like this little stream here. There's a bridge straight up ahead that was extremely sketchy. It's a good 50-foot drop if you fall.
For sure. I might make it the second time.
There's the door handle too.
Hey, there we go. Look, we got weather stripping that's pretty good still.
Yeah. Well, this window roll up mechanism is still in one piece.
Well, the back goes off a cliff, so I can't go that way.
Well, right.
Maybe they Bonnie and Clyde it or whatever and came from that way.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to make it across.
Yeah, I bet there's a story somewhere.
I was looking up to see if I could find some kind of story on the Jeep, but I wasn't able to find anything online. So I really don't like following because a lot of the time I tend to follow too closely, and it kind of messes up your line a lot when you're following somebody. you'll notice that this is just covered with powder. And I give it a little bit of gas here and I just dig right in with no forward drive. So the powder really just robbed all forward drive and horsepower. Even when I do get up onto this little ledge here, it just, every time you hear the engine revving right here, my rear wheel is just spinning. There's no traction. So I was attempting to wheelie up to that rock, but I couldn't get enough drive to get wheelied. I was actually all the way back on the seat.
Hole in the rock. I wonder if that's a restaurant or what. I'd like to get down there and check it out, but I don't know if there's going to be any trails to go there. But you can see a Jeep way up there on the rock. That's just to grab people's attention. There's nobody actually in it.
Here's Hole in the Rock. So I'll just read you something off their website here about Hole in the Rock. Travelers along U.S. Highway 191 in southwestern Utah are amazed to discover this historic 5,000 square foot home, taking shape almost a century ago by the Christensen family. What began as a small alcove for the young Christensen boys to sleep in at night grew into an amazing man-made engineering marvel 20 years in the making. A fireplace with a 65-foot chimney, 14 rooms arranged around huge pillars, and a deep bathtub built into the rock delight visitors who visit this most unusual home in the desert. Original furnishings, Alberta's paintings, Gladys doll collection, and many of the tools used to create this home remind you of the past. In a 12-year period, Albert excavated 50,000 cubic feet of sandstone from the rock. During this time, he completed his famous painting, Sermon of the Mount, and his sculpture of Franklin D. Roosevelt on the face of the rock above his home. When Albert died in 1957, the home was not complete. Gladys, in keeping with his wishes and lifelong dreams, continued to develop the property, opening a gift shop and giving tours of her home until she passed away in 1974. Gladys is laid to rest next to Albert in a small cove within the rock near the home. So there's a lot of interesting history with this hole in the rock, and it has a lot of interesting engineering feats, really. I mean, it's not just the rock that amazed me when I was there, but there's a bunch of little statues and stuff. There's a giant lizard on the side of the rock. Just so much work went into this place. And there's a Jeep way up on top to kind of catch a visitor's eye as they're driving down the freeway. And it looks convincing up until you fly a drone up past it. It really looks convincing. You would never know that was not a real person up there.
I thought that was rubber.
Yeah. That's wondering what you were doing. That's good.
Anyways, guys, it was a really good trip. No major incidents. There was one moment when my brother actually fell over and got a branch caught in his throat and just about choked to death. But besides that, you know, I'd like to see more of the Red Rock next time. This trail was difficult in a lot of places and just way too easy in a lot of places. And it's just the difficult parts weren't difficult because of the terrain. It was just because of the soil, I guess. The soil was just horrible. It was really bad traction. Still a lot of unique background, a lot of unique scenery, and it was still a lot of fun. It's always a lot of fun to ride, and it's definitely different than the terrain that I'm used to here in Idaho. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you on the next ride.